what else do I do? What else can I give? And it took me a while to figure out that actually I'm so much more than that. And many people say to me, how can you be the face of body positivity or talk about these issues when you have a perfect body? I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. It's a long journey. Started working out or burning more calories than I was eating, so I was always in calorie deficit. Yeah, going to gyms, but I remember like when I didn't eat before, I would start going, my vision would go.
While you were in a shoot?
No, while I was at the gym. And then I was kind of like, this isn't good, but then I would still be looking in the mirror as a UK 10. I mean, I started to develop by then. So 14, 15 was when I kind of, started developing more curves. So I'd be looking in the mirror and I was thinking like, why are my thighs this big? Why are my calves? I was Googling, is there an operation where you can cut your calf muscle? Like crazy things. Not understanding why I couldn't look like the models that I saw in the magazines that I wanted to do and be. And I was so close. I was signed and I wanted it so bad, but I just couldn't. My body, my hip structure, it didn't allow me to, so I got dropped. And then they gave me a list and they said, but maybe these agencies, you should try them. And they had a list of about 11 different agencies from the AMA, Association of Model Agents, so kind of the legit ones in England. And I started going to them, and then one after one, some of them were really interested, some of them tested me, and then there was always some excuse. Womanly, curvy, commercial. Commercial came up a lot.
What does that mean?
What does that even mean? Not editorial.
Not edgy.
Not edgy. And still to this day, I mean, I don't do as much editorial. I do more commercial work. I work for mainstream brands. I do smiley shoots. The look is the girl next door. The look is the pretty girl you would see at school.
Relatable. It's
not, it's the kind of thing, it's so hard to describe because I mean, I don't believe this at all, but maybe what that more traditional ideal of beauty is, just pretty, not different, not unique.
What was your life like when you were consumed with trying to lose weight like that?
Obsessed with how I looked. Dressing almost in, push-up bras and trying to be kind of sexy because I was so confused with my body and its shape and its curves that I didn't really know what to do with them. So I was trying to prove that I was confident in my body, but actually I was hating it. I wanted my friends to think, I felt good. I wanted the boys to fancy me because I needed that validation for my body, for the way I looked, because I was not getting it inside or from the modeling industry where I really wanted it. And then I must have been 18, heard about plus size modeling from a friend, and she said, I've actually just joined. And I was like, you're like a UK 10. You're just a little bit bigger than me. You got signed by plus size agencies? She was like, yeah, it's great. It's the new thing. You can make money from it. Like, you should try it. So I went down and I saw the top one again. I just went straight to the top. I was like, why not? You went to this agency and they were like, oh, we really love you. But the thing is, we only really represent girls from a 14 or above. And you're a 10, 12. We don't think you're gonna work. So there was a tiny plus size agency in the front of a woman's house, and just in her living room. She worked out of it, just kind of a one woman show. And I was like, please take me on. I really believe that I have to do this. Like, I love it so much, and I want to see models like me. So they took me on.
Did dressing sexy, like, actually, and like wanting attention from guys, did that actually translate to like wanting, like being with guys a lot too, or was it just like the attention, just the surface part? Like, was there a need for validation from guys that like went beyond just what you looked like?
I was womanly, yeah, and that wasn't as much for my school friends who were much kind of more straight up and down and not wearing bras yet. And I was like, okay, so I must be more womanly, so I'm sexier, so, you know, probably into boys more. I moved to a school, my first, and that was as well, I went to all girls schools, which I think influenced me a lot until I was 14, and then I went to a mixed school. And I even remember the day I got shown around the school, all the girls were like, because I was wearing heels. I think I even had false nails. I had really long blonde hair with, I think I even might have had highlights, again, covering everything. I'm confident, yeah. And I remember all the girls literally being like, who does she, and you know, they were just skirts, flat shoes, you know, hadn't done their hair, and I was like, makeup, hair, everything. And all the boys were literally like, who's this? Like they were, and then that made it worse, because then when I actually started school, I was pally with all the boys, and none of the girls liked me. And girls would shout slut, whore, the boys would say, get your tits out.
What makes you feel
What
most
about-
vulnerable
Oh, vulnerable.
now?
The vulnerability is probably online now, actually. It's probably when I try and voice an opinion and I'm trying to do good, and people say that I'm a liar or a fake, or that I'm doing it all for attention, or that my intentions aren't in the right place. Those things do make me feel a little bit vulnerable, because I put myself out there. So I'm still working on that. It was actually only when I moved to New York and I finally got into that place. I was like, oh my God, I'm in New York. I'm like, I've kind of made it. Like, I'm here after everything. And then I started going to clients and booking jobs. And then I'd get there and they'd say, you're too small. Like, and then they'd be like, yeah, we need to pad you out a bit. Your waist is too small. And could you put some here? And then by the end of it, you kind of look at yourself in the mirror and your two dress sizes bigger. That was coming to terms with that, especially from the issues that I'd been through. Almost being photoshopped to beyond recognition, being photoshopped so my arms were half the size, and thinking, what's wrong with me? When you are doing a shoot, especially lingerie, you're there, you stood there, and you're doing the photos, and then you get the photo back, the cellulite's been retouched, your waist's been slimmed in, all these things have been done to you. In your head, you then think, that's a flaw, that's bad. Wow, I now have to attain to this perfect me that I'm not even that perfect me, and I've worked so hard to get there, but I still can never.
I'm still not good enough still.
Yeah, so that's why there was no better campaign and pinnacle for me of coming on this journey than being in a campaign that was unretouched. Was the culmination of all these feelings of my body, thinking, I'm there and I'm unretouched. Wow, I'm not having to diet, I'm happy. And they're not telling me I have flaws. They're telling me I'm good enough to be in my underwear, to be in my bikini, with all these things that for years I thought made me not good enough. And right now I'm still in this limbo of, I'm not the supermodel, yeah, I'm not that celebrity that can demand to not be photoshopped in shoots, if that makes sense. Like, there's still some clients that are going to photoshop me, but at least I can not photoshop myself on my own platforms, and I don't want young girls to see that.
Can I just say that, yes, you are a supermodel?
Oh,
Like, that is what that is what a supermodel is now.
I never thought I could be one, being me. That's cool, thank you. Oh, I'm just glad I was able to do it as me. Even if I never even, that aspiration of being a supermodel, that aspiration of being on the front cover of Vogue, it actually all went out the window, to be honest. Like, I want this. I want education in schools. I want to be able to give a voice to all those young girls and for them to see me and realize that, yeah, they don't need to attain to that perfectionism. I want to just